right? So, Josh and Shelly Buck Family Ministries, we exist to bring hope and respite to families in crisis. So that's what it's about. We're not...
What the heck does that mean?
And I don't like it that she holds the mic now, because she can just take it away whenever she wants.
I really actually like it. He usually has like a little...
Usually I've got like a headset or something. So we exist to bring hope and respite to families in crisis. We're not a marriage ministry that's going to be like, well, you know what, in 2016, we're going to take your marriage to the top in 3 easy steps. So...
Don't come to us for that. We're way too honest.
So she took the mic again away. So what we seriously want to do is we focus on families in crisis. And we're not naive enough to think just because I'm in a wheelchair and just because we've lost a daughter and our pain is visible, we know that in a room this size, there are people with pain that I cannot imagine. That's hidden. And sometimes that's what church is about, isn't it? Well, you know what? This is our street corner. It's our crazy, messed up, broken street corner that God has given us. And so just as we have a street corner because of our pain, many of you are going to have the same thing.
And I walked into our daughter's room. Her name was Ava Nicole. And found her in her crib. And she was dead. Completely unexpectedly. No warning. No understanding at all of what God's purpose could possibly be.
So how can God be good and how can He be almighty? And that's the problem that I was faced with after Ava died. God, how can you be good and be powerful? How is it remotely possible? You don't want me to be happy?
Jim busts into the room with all the fury of a congregation behind him, looking like he's going to kick me in the chest and knock me out of my chair. And I was very understanding of that.
I would have let him.
Yes.
Go for it. At that point, I honestly, this is not, I wasn't planning on saying this, but as you're talking...
It's always a good sign. No, you go ahead, you tell them.
So we decided we were going to go on vacation because Shelly was pregnant then with our fourth. So we were in Cancun. I ended up running down the beach and diving into a wave as a guy who was training for a triathlon. And then they pulled me out of that wave, a quadriplegic. That fast. I'm going to serve Christ. And I'm going to bring light into, because I probably would have ended up living in a nursing home. But I'm going to bring, light, and I'm going to bring Christ's love to the hallways of that nursing home in the best way I possibly can. And so I think what happened is in that moment, Shelly saw that I wasn't scrambling after her, but I was scrambling after Christ.
So if God is loving, He cares more about you becoming like His Son Jesus than He cares about whether or not you suffer.
I just remember this lightness and this forgiveness and this cleanliness coming over me that I'd only really heard about before, even though I'd been a Christian my whole life. Just to live in that sort of freedom was incredible.
In the Old Testament being called Goel, it's on my ring, and it means my rescuer. Because we were rescued time and time again. We were rescued after our daughter's death when He came and met us in the pit, and after Josh's accident, and then how we were so emotionally, we still fight. I still want to tear him apart sometimes, but I love him, and God has been growing in us a marriage that was intended from the beginning. He brought us back together in a miraculous way and renewed a love for each other, a love for Christ.
That is God's story of our brokenness, of our tragedy, but of His ultimate redemption and His ultimate paying a price for us and redeeming our story So now what do we do with it?
When the sky surrounds my heart, I see you through a million stars. When I put it to the floor, I just can't fight it anymore. 'Cause after all